The last time I cried hard over a man was the last time I cried hard over a man. I remember how I begged him to care, to just see how much he hurt me. I wanted him to show me something, anything that would make the pain make sense. But he didn't. He just watched me fall apart like it was nothing. And that's when I realized that if a man can make you cry like that over what he's done to you and still not care, then he does not love you. He doesn't even respect you. Your tears don't mean shit to him. Your tears don't move him. They feed his ego. They remind him that he still has access to your emotions. That even after everything, that he still has power over you. And I know it hurts. God, I know it does. But cry in private. Heal in peace and silence. Don't hand him the satisfaction of knowing that he still has power over you and that he still can affect your emotions. Because the moment you let those tears fall in front of him, you teach him that he can break you and still be forgiven. You have to start believing the truth that you've been avoiding. If he hurt you that deeply, it wasn't an accident. He knew what he was doing. He just didn't care enough to stop. So let that be the last time you beg a man to care and to love you. The last time you cry over a man who doesn't deserve the softness in your tears. The last time I cried hard over a man was the last time I cried hard over a man. Because I quickly realized that tears don't change a damn thing with a man like that. He didn't care. He didn't stop. He didn't suddenly love me more because he saw how much he hurt me. And this is what I want to talk about with you today on this Healing Sundays episode. How men use your emotions to control you and how you can stop giving him that type of power. Because when you cry, beg, and plead with a man who has already disrespected you, you are not getting closer to love. You're showing him just how much control he has over your peace. A man who truly loves you does not want to see you broken, especially not over him. But a man who wants to control you, he watches how you break and he studies it. This is the reality of emotional control. When you cry over a man, when you chase him, when you try to explain your pain, hoping that he will finally care, you're just giving him all the information that he needs to keep you bound to him. He knows which buttons to push. He knows your weak spots. And the more emotional you get, the more he knows that he can hurt you and that you will still forgive him. Because the truth is, your tears do not move him. They feed him. They remind him that he still has power over you. And power is really the only thing that he is after. There is one memory that always sticks out in my mind about my ex. I remember I found a hotel receipt. Well, not a hotel, a motel receipt on his bank statement. Yes, I had access to his bank account information. I was the one that helped him set up how to access it online. And so I signed into it and was just looking through it. And I seen a motel receipt on there. And I remember this was around the holidays. Make it so bad, y'all. And he was at my house. And I remember him sitting on the couch. And I was just crying to him, pleading to him. Like, just tell me the truth. You were at that motel with some woman. And I was just crying to him. And I remember just seeing him laid out on the couch, just not even looking at me, not even looking directly at me. And I remember inside feeling like, doesn't he see me breaking down? Why doesn't he not care about seeing me break down over something he did to me? Does he not love me? I started to cry even harder because the fact started to sit in with me that he doesn't love me, he doesn't care. And that made me cry more and more. And he just sat there, never confessed to it, never comforted me, didn't care. And that hurt bad. And I cried so hard over that. He made up some lie, was gaslighting me, telling me something like, oh, I was there because I was moving work, moving drugs. He was saying him and one of his homeboys had set up that motel for that or whatnot. I knew that was a lie because he wasn't doing anything like that that can make him go back to jail. Yeah, I said go back to jail. Anyway, that's my story with Sebastian, and more of that is coming up in my book 2 of Toxic X Chronicles. That's the ex that I'm talking about. For those of you that really have been following me and my toxic relationship journey, and you've read Toxic Ex Chronicles John, and you've been introduced to my other ex Sebastian, his book, that's book 2, and that's gonna be coming out soon. And that man just sat there, act like he didn't care. And I remember that was not one of the last times I cried hard over him, because I cried hard over him when the finality of it all happened. I'll have more on it in the book. But yeah, that man did not love me, did not give a damn about me. He just liked that he can control me and my emotions. And I did not even really leave him right after that like I should have. The reason why you can't be emotional with certain men is because there are men out here that sees your emotions as weakness. And it's not because emotions are weak, but because they're emotionally unavailable themselves. They can't handle depth, accountability, or empathy. So when you show emotion, they twist it. They'll call you crazy. They'll say you're doing too much. And my ex used to even tell me that I'm ruining his peace, that I'm being immature. And he even told me that I was ruining his holiday. Or even worse, sometimes they'll comfort you enough just to keep you hooked, but never enough to actually change. And if you keep showing emotion to a man like that, you'll start to confuse emotional release with connection. You'll start to think that crying together, arguing, or making up means progress. It is not progress. It is a cycle. He breaks you, you react, he soothes you just enough, and then he does it again. That's not love, that is control. So here's how you are going to walk away with your power. So how do you stop being so emotional with men like this? You start by realizing that your silence is your power. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not every disrespect needs a speech. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to say nothing at all. You don't beg a man to act right. You don't explain to him how to love you. You don't cry in front of someone who caused you the tears. You let your absence say everything that your words cannot. Because here's what men like this can't handle. They can't handle a woman who doesn't react. They expect the chaos. They expect tears. They expect you to break down. But when you stay calm, when you keep your pride and you walk away quietly, that's when you take back your control. Because now he is the one left wondering what he has lost. Now he is the one who can't predict you anymore. Your silence becomes your revenge. Your peace becomes your power. And now I'm not saying don't ever feel your emotions and that you can't show emotions in a relationship at all. It's just that you can't be with a man that disrespects you and hurts you like this and cry and beg and plead to him thinking that he's going to treat you better. I'm saying that you must feel your emotions privately with men like this. With men that disrespect and hurt you. Cry if you need to, but cry when you're alone, not in front of him. Heal in silence because your emotions are sacred, girlfriends. They're not a tool for manipulation. They're not something to be used against you. You deserve to be loved by a man who honors your tears, not a man who causes them and then acts numb to your pain. Because a good man will more than likely not ever cause you tears like that. Although I can say that in a healthy connection, that there will be some tears, but it won't be over the mistreatment of you. Because I've cried in my healthy connection, but it's not because I was being disrespected. It was more so out of the emotion of the situation or the disagreement that we were having. It's not because he was disrespecting me, because there will be disagreements. And sometimes when I'm explaining myself or I'm saying how I feel about something, I'm going to cry. And best believe that every time I have ever shown emotions in front of my husband, he has always comforted me. Even when we were having a heated disagreement, he's always comforted me. He's never belittled me. He's never disrespected me, and he's never acted numb to my pain. He's never just soothed me for a minute just so we can be okay, and then he goes around and does the same thing again, and we have the same disagreement again. That's the difference. You can be emotional with a man. I'm not saying to be unemotional with every man that you come across. I'm saying with men that play around with your heart, men that disrespect you, men that make you cry, do not show them your emotions. Walk away. They don't care about your tears. They're only going to use your tears to manipulate you and to control you. And that's not what your emotions are supposed to be used for. So let the last time you cried hard over a man be the last time that you cry hard over a man. You've already proven how deeply you can love. Now prove how deeply you can protect your emotions and your peace. Walk away with your pride intact. Because when a man realizes that you can detach quietly, without begging, without pleading, without breaking, that's when he truly understands what it means to lose you. But by then, you will be too healed to ever go back. Keep it strict. Stick to your standards. Stick to your boundaries. Don't let these men play games with you. Don't let these men control your emotions. Okay? Okay. So, as always, I do one-on-one coaching, one-on-one mindset and intuitive coaching that can be found linked in my description. Also, I have books out. I have a new one called This Is For You, So Much to Unlearn plus Relearn, plus a journal that goes along with it. I think the journal that will be best for you after watching this Healing Sundays episode is Getting Over Him and Back to You. All of it will be linked in my description. And my Toxic Ex Chronicle book will also be linked.